So the last one I want to take a look at here is exercise 6.8, just to show you that, again, what we're going to do when we implement these changes is we're not going to change your theme at all. We're not going to change the logical arrangement of the rooms or what happens when you say go north, go east, or any of that. We're not going to make the exits bidirectional or anything. We're just going to leave the whole logical connection, the whole gameplay exactly the way it is, but we're going to clean up the code. Okay? And the reason for cleaning up the code is, as I said before, when you want to add some of these cool features that you've come up with later on, that you'll be in a position to do so, by with minimal possibility of introducing defects. Okay, it's going to happen. All right, you're gonna run into bugs and stuff like that. But what you want to do is minimize the likelihood of that as much as possible. Okay. So here it says implement the changes described in this section. So what are the changes described here? So they have so what they're changing is the way that they're storing, the way we're storing the room. So we're going to storing the exits. So we're storing the exits in a hash map. We're keeping exactly the same information, except we're putting it in a hash map instead of putting it in the 4 fields. Okay. And again, so right now these are. Oh, you know what I want to do too before I forget is this should be private as well. We want all these fields to be private, and this one's actually, because you're using the get description method, you can actually compile everything fine, and that works fine. But so what I was saying though is these 4 fields here, the north exit, south exit, east exit, west exit, we can still keep exactly those same exits, but we're going to just store them differently. Okay, we're going to store them as hash maps. All right. Oh, where did I put it? Right here. Okay. So we're going to have this this hash map collection instead of those 4 fields. So the first thing we need to do is import the hash map class. So we're going to say import Java util hash map. Okay, and then we're going to, instead of storing these in these 4 fields, we're going to store them in a hash map. So let's see, what's the cleanest way to do this? Well, for right now, I think the first thing I'll do is I'll just rather than deleting those guys right away, I'm going to create a private hash map. And this hash map, so we haven't done hash maps before. Maybe we should take a look in the Java class libraries. So a hash map is a special kind of collection, and the way to think of it is maybe as a dictionary. So there's like a key. Let's see, hash. There's a key and a value. So we use K and V in here. So just like in array list, you have this generic type notation where you can put in some kind of value. Do I have any array lists? Well, anyway, for hash maps, you can do the same thing. You can say hash map, and the way we're going to store these is we're going to have a string, which will be in this particular instance will be north, south, east, west. Right? It'll be a string containing one of those, and a room. So the room associated with that direction. So that's what we're going to store. We need a semicolon here. Okay, and then just like any other collection, you need to initialize it here. So we need to say, oh wait, we need to give it a name, right? Let's call it exits. And then here we can say exits equals new hash map. And I think we can just use the diamond notation here because we already declared it as being string comma room. So the diamond notation is just you know, an open bracket. This is like the less than sign and the greater than sign right next to each other without putting the class names. So you need the class names here in the declaration, but I don't think we need them here. Let me just make sure it compiles. Oh, expected. Did I put a colon instead of a semicolon? Let's see. Yeah, that was it. Okay. Yeah, so this initializes it. I'm trying to think. I think like if you look back in Music Organizer, there was an array list. So we've had discussions in the text about array lists and stuff. So a hash map is another kind of collection. Like I said, it's kind of like a dictionary. So you can look up which room, you know, what east, north, south, or west, and get back the room associated with that string. So what do we need to do here then? So for set exits, I'm kind of going back and forth with the book here. So again, like I said, we're storing the same information, but we're just storing it in a hash map instead of storing it in those fields. Okay, so nothing big changing here. So we have our set exits method, and we have this put method. So exits is the hash map, right? And this is how we add things to the hash map. So we're going to say put for north. We'll put the north room. Okay, so so if north is not equal to null, instead of assigning north to this field, we're going to add it to our hash map. We're going to say exits put, and the key we'll stick with the same thing we've been using, the same string we've been using to stand for the north exit. We'll just use the string north in quotes, okay? And then for east exit, it's a similar idea. Exits put east. Okay, so we're still storing exactly the same information. It's just we're putting it in a hash map instead of putting it in the fields. Put south, comma, south. And exits put west, comma, west. Alright, so that lets us store all our exits in there. See, this compile, okay, still compiles. Then then get exit's going to get a lot easier. See, for get exit, we just need, because we're getting past the string, so this string is either going to be north, east, south, or west. We can just directly pull the room out from the hash map, from the exits hash map. We can just return exits.get direction. So if the direction is north, it'll give us the north exit. If the direction is east, it'll give us the east exit. And just like that. Okay. So that's awesome. And if it's none of those, if the user typed in something funky, or you know, the programmer who did it after you typed in an invalid direction, it'll just return null. Okay, which is what we wanted to do in the original case, right? Because this get will just give us a null in that case. All right, so let's see if that compiles. That looks good. And it looks like, Yeah, so our get exit is still going to get our exit. That's still going to work for getting our exit string. And it looks like we can get rid of these now. Do a cut and a compile. And those are all cool. Okay, so we haven't changed anything as far as the logic or the gameplay. Okay, we're just changing the way the information is stored. And like I said, this is going to be a big help later on in giving you flexibility and in just making cleaner code. All right, so again, we could test it out. Let's see. And you can play and go north and go east and go east again. Oh, not got east, go east. Go east. Now I'm in a room with an old man. Okay, so yeah, so like I said, haven't touched the gameplay, and we've still done some nice refactoring that's going to put you in a good position to make further improvements later on.